Welcome to another episode, everyone. The day Jay Prince tried forcing 50 Cent to check in there in Houston. Everyone is always talking about Los Angeles, California, and the so-called check-in culture. They say they have the same thing going on there in Houston, that Jay Prince and now Jay Prince Jr. have been running Houston for decades. We've all heard the stories, but other individuals say not so fast, that 50 Cent is bigger than Jay Prince in Houston, and that 50 Cent can make Jay Prince check in even there in Houston. But according to reports, Jay Prince indeed tried forcing 50 Cent to check in one day, and things did not go correctly.
I come from like a place where you have to be ready. Don't get ready, you gotta be ready, right? I would layer things around me to prepare for different type of situations.
I got calls that he was in the airport, right?
Okay.
I mean, imagine that shit.
Right.
I like that. I would know when you land. He was in a Ritz-Carlton, from what I hear. Mm-hmm. And it didn't go well for him because he didn't do protocol-wise.
We've been coming to LA since 204, 205, and like, they ain't never check in to nobody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just go to their hotel and move militant.
The Prince family is back in the headlines again, and true to form, it's still about the long-standing check-in culture tied to Jay Prince. Known by some people as the Big U of Houston, Jay Prince and his family have been running Houston's entertainment space with an iron grip for decades.
So why the got to check in, Mr. Prince? Mob ties?
I agree.
Nah, homie, take them restrictions and protocols off any. We don't owe y'all nothing.
But the day he tried it with 50 Cent, the plan backfired. Instead of folding, 50 did what he always does best. He laughed and trolled Jay Prince. Let's get into it. Back in the 1980s, Jay Prince built something that really meant something in the South. Rap-A-Lot Records was the label out of Houston. At one point, if you were popping in Southern hip-hop, especially in Texas, your path was probably going to cross Rap-A-Lot in some way. We're talking about a roster and influence that touched names like Bun B, Pimp C, Zero, and even artists like Juvenile at different points. It was a real powerhouse. But then time passed. Fast forward into the 2000s and beyond, and that same label just didn't feel the same anymore. The hits slowed down, the breakout stars stopped coming, and the cultural impact started.
Well, you certainly cannot forget Scarface, who is one of the most prolific rappers of all time, and probably the most underrated rapper of all time. Scarface had some heat. He essentially made Rap-A-Lot. I mean, what is this dude talking about here? But, you know, they don't always know exactly what they're talking about when it comes to the culture. But they can certainly have a story correct about this individual here. But Jay Prince, they're saying it's older now, it's not the same, doesn't have the same juice out there in Houston, that he's not running anything. But now Jay Prince Jr. Apparently is trying to take after his dad. This is what individuals have been saying, that he's now somewhat running the city or whatever. I don't know. You all let me know what you think in the comments. But as he just said, when he tried to get 50 Cent to check in, it backfired. 50 Cent, he wasn't going for it. You got to know who you're dealing with.
Fading. It wasn't like Rap-A-Lot completely disappeared, but compared to what it used to be, things clearly cooled off. And once that happened, people started asking questions. If the music isn't hitting like before, then where exactly is the money coming from? That's where the rumors start getting louder. According to whispers in the industry and stories that have been floating around for years, the word that keeps popping up is extortion. Allegedly, there's been a long-running system in place where artists coming into Houston are expected to check in, and not necessarily out of respect, but more out of pressure. Now, Jay Prince himself has spoken openly about checking in. He's even claimed that he helped popularize the idea long before law enforcement started using RICO cases against people in hip-hop.
The first time that I heard the word checking in, it was in relationship to Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the blame for that.
In his version of things, it's about respect, protocol, and knowing who you're dealing with in certain cities. But depending on who
Okay, so he's admitting it on the internet. Don't come for me for covering this stuff. Excuse me. He said that he's going to have to take the blame for that, or the credit for that, for the check-in culture there in Houston. But as I just alluded to a couple of days ago in Los Angeles, California, when we talking about checking in, as Compton Menace had alluded to, just referring to a system of knowing where you are at, where you're going, who you're dealing with. Not talking about checking in financially or being extorted or anything financially. No, that should not be the situation at all. You can get robbed in LA or whatever, like you get robbed anywhere. But we talking about checking in so we can say, no, yeah, don't go over here, don't go over there. They beefing over here. There's a war going on over here. Don't be in that area. That's it, just for your own safety. I don't know what's going on here with the check-in culture is as it relates to Houston. If there is a thing, but I mean, again, Jay Prince just said himself that he'd take the blame for that.
You ask, that same idea comes off very differently. Many see it as a shakedown, and over the years, there have been stories tied to it. One of the biggest names ever mentioned in this conversation is Jay-Z. According to Jay Prince, there was a time when things were tense between them, and somehow he knew exactly when Jay-Z was landing in Houston.
I got calls that he was in the airport, right?
Okay.
I mean, imagine that
All
shit,
right,
right?
I like that.
I would know when you land.
The story goes that Jay-Z didn't check in, and because of that, his stay at the hotel didn't go as smoothly as it could have.
He was in the Ritz-Carlton, from what I hear. And it didn't go well for him because he didn't do protocol-wise.
But not everybody plays by those rules,
Protocol.
and that's where 50 Cent comes in. If there's one person known for not folding under pressure, it's him. Around 2019, when 50 Cent...
See, that's why Boosie said that when he travels to LA, he travels at least 10 deep with some hitters, with some militant individuals, at least 10 deep. And then, even then, he's in and out, takes care of his business, and he's out of there. Doesn't hang around, doesn't frolic around out there in LA. And he was just referring to being robbed. He said he knew a lot of individuals, a lot of celebrities, and what have you, that have been robbed in Los Angeles, California. But this whole checking in thing, no, just being robbed, though. Not that that's any better.
was in Houston for business and an event, rumors started circulating that he was expected to check in as well. But instead of going along with that, he reportedly did what he always does. He trolled. In what people say was a now deleted post, he wrote something along the lines of, "I do not check in, I fly." That alone was already a statement, but it didn't stop there. He allegedly kept mocking the whole situation, taking subtle shots at Jay Prince and his camp. But here's where things got interesting. There was no response. For someone like Jay Prince, who usually doesn't shy away from addressing things publicly, the silence stood out. People noticed it, because normally, he's not the type to just let something like that slide, especially not from someone as loud and as visible as 50 Cent. Then Tony Yayo came in and backed it up from another angle. He basically said, G-Unit has never had to check in anywhere. Whether it's LA, Houston, or wherever, they move how they want, but they move smart. According to him, it's all about security and being prepared, not relying on local figures to protect you.
If you're dealing with G-Unit, had a lot of drama. So you had to move militant. It ain't just going to the mall and just going here with jewelry on and this and that. And you gotta move militant, bro.
Yeah. And that lines up with what people already know about 50 Cent. His security isn't a joke. Even Whack 100 shared a story about trying to catch 50 off guard and realizing real quick that it wasn't going to happen. At the time, Whack 100 was managing the game, so naturally, he found himself in the middle of the drama. According to Whack 100, he decided to confront 50 at his hotel in LA, thinking he had the upper hand. But things didn't go the way he expected. The story goes like this. Whack 100 got tipped off that 50 was staying at the SLS hotel and chilling at the small bar inside. Confident, Whack 100 rolled up with his crew, thinking it would be a simple face-to-face. But the moment they walked in, he immediately felt something shift in the air.
You got the drop on 50 Cent one time?
We thought we did.
Right.
We thought we did. Until we got in there.
A quick scan of the lobby revealed why. 50 wasn't alone. He was posted up, surrounded by what looked like a squad of elite, highly trained security. Whack 100 described them like Navy SEAL level operators, sharp, scanning everything, Hands ready, formation tight. It was clear that 50 hadn't been caught slipping.
Up there, we came in and shit. You had Navy SEALs with him. 2 in all directions. Probably about 6 of them. Guns strapped to their thigh. Bullies on them, semis on them. Magazine cartridges. I said, yeah. He ain't slipping.
What this really shows is that 50's preparation wasn't just about having muscle. It was about intelligence. He likely had informants keeping tabs, alerting him about WAC 100's plans so he could set up what was essentially a counter trap. Even WAC 100 admitted it felt like 50 orchestrated the whole thing just to send a message. So if the idea was to press him into checking in, that plan didn't exactly go smoothly. But 50 Cent isn't the only one who didn't play along with J Prince's antics. NBA YoungBoy is another name that comes up when people talk about this. Back in June 2020, a group of people broke into YoungBoy's house in Houston. But this wasn't some random break-in. Whoever did it knew exactly what they were doing, knew where things were. They knew where the car keys were kept. They knew the layout of the house. They even knew small details, like where certain personal items were. And to make it even stranger, they recorded the whole thing. They were on camera, moving through the house, talking, flexing like they had just pulled off some big heist.
Young boy. This is crazy. This social media is bananas. I seen it. I covered when the individuals had ran into 6ix9ine house and took his mother, and held her at gunpoint and this and that, and whoever else was in the house. But they were not recording it. It's just he had cameras in the home or whatever. These dudes seem like they're recording it, or they are recording it. It's on Instagram. Or I guess YoungBoy put it on Instagram. That's his Instagram, I guess. YPC YoungBoy. But these individuals, they're talking and all this like they're on the phone, like they're recording it, like they're recording themselves committing a home invasion. Man, this is crazy. This clout is crazy. This 15 minutes of fame people are chasing are crazy. You're going to put yourself in jail. Just saw something where they said that the feds were watching as individuals were posting stuff on Instagram, and now they're using this against them with the case. But this is when they got onto them and they started looking at their pictures on Instagram, had invaded their social medias and began to gather evidence against them, because everything that they're doing on social media is evidence as far as the police are concerned and as far as the system is concerned. You have to be careful, man. This is crazy. Okay, so 50 Cent didn't go for it. He laughed at J Prince when he tried to get him to check in. He trolled him and said, please, it's not going to happen. Not an impressed NBA YoungBoy. Is he going to fold? Oh.
And YoungBoy taking his shit.
But when everything was said and done, the actual items they took weren't even that major. According to YoungBoy, all they really got was his cameraman's Gucci flip-flops and a little bit of cash. Then came the weirdest part. After the break-in, those same people allegedly tried to extort YoungBoy. They wanted $30,000 to return what they took. YoungBoy wasn't going for that. Instead of paying, he jumped on Instagram and basically challenged them, telling them to drop their location. And then suddenly, the burglars disappeared. And right when everything was settling down, J Prince stepped in. Out of nowhere, he came out publicly saying he had recovered YoungBoy's stolen items. He framed it like he was doing a favor, like he stepped in to clean up a situation and make things right.
As you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, all that they took.
But instead of calming things down, it actually made people look at the situation even harder. To a lot of
He said, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce. He's sitting there dangling keys. I got the keys to your McLaren, to make a long story short. And so he's on the internet saying this. Oh man, this is nasty work.
Fans, it didn't feel like a rescue. It felt like something else entirely, like maybe the situation was more controlled than it looked. And YoungBoy himself wasn't buying it either. He responded publicly, basically saying if J Prince really wanted to help, there were better ways to reach out than doing it on the internet. He told him straight up to mind his business.
If you got something for me, man, plenty around me you could call. Man, It's plenty ways you could get in touch with me. Man, I don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. And I'm good on them keys, gangster. When you buy cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Man, you bitch.
That response didn't sit well. Jay Prince fired back, calling YoungBoy a dumb boy multiple times in a public statement. He positioned himself as an OG, someone who had done a favor for a younger artist who didn't know how to show respect.
My kindness for weakness, but you're a dumb boy with limited thinking ability and disrespectful. Talking slick.
He also brought up the fact that YoungBoy and his brother had previously been connected to mob ties, which is tied to Jay Prince Jr.'s circle. The message was clear. YoungBoy had once been aligned with them, and now he was acting like he wasn't. But according to YoungBoy, this tension didn't even start with the robbery. He had already been speaking on Jay Prince before all that. Before June 2020, YoungBoy publicly accused him of trying to pressure him into a business arrangement, one where artists allegedly have to check in or pay to move freely in certain cities. He didn't sugarcoat it either. He called it extortion. So when his house got robbed and then Jay Prince suddenly appeared with the stolen items, it didn't look random anymore. To a lot of people, it looked like pieces of a bigger play. YoungBoy never backed down from that stance, and if anything, people around him doubled down. According to voices like WAC 100, the whole situation may have been an attempt to pull the NBA camp under the mob ties umbrella, but it didn't go as planned. Instead of working, it backfired badly.
Was it your play? Go do this, bring it back. Let me use this to try to bring NBA into the mob ties.
He also made it clear that YoungBoy isn't the type to fold under pressure. According to him, YoungBoy doesn't care who you are. He's not easily intimidated, and if pushed, he's willing to take things all the way. That reputation has followed him ever since.
Listen, I'm not playing with that little nigga. Ain't no playing with him. He's serious as a top one out of all them niggas in his era. Whack, who NBA YoungBoy going? That ain't no act he doing.
He'll crash out.
He's gonna crash.
Then things got even more intense in 2022. WAC 100 went a step further and hinted that YoungBoy may have responded to the robbery situation in his own way, that someone got killed behind it.
I don't know what he tried that shit with NBA YoungBoy. He tried that with NBA YoungBoy and got it killed.
Now, that part is all alleged, but people ran with it anyway. Fans even started pointing to lyrics, saying YoungBoy might have referenced it in his music, especially in songs like F the Industry Part 2 and certain freestyles. Now, this situation ties into what's been going on more recently with the Prince family, especially Jay Prince Jr. Over time, a certain narrative has started building around them. People have been pointing out what they see as a pattern. Instead of moving like a traditional music family, critics say they move more like a street crew. And Jay Prince Jr. has been catching the most heat. A lot of people feel like he's always around when something goes wrong, like he somehow keeps ending up at the center when chaos breaks out. Two major situations people keep bringing up are Takeoff and Duke the Jeweler. Both incidents had eerily similar setups: dice games, late-night environments, tension building, and then things turning deadly. And in both cases, Jay Prince Jr. was reportedly present. Now, to be clear, the Prince family has denied any connection between themselves and what happened in those situations.
Yeah. You think? They got a lot going on out there in Houston. You know, they have a large hip-hop scene as well, and they don't play out there, that's for sure. And I mean, I don't know. But this dude is sitting here on the internet with NBA YoungBoy's keys, basically dangling them, telling him to come and get them. After we see individuals on the video inside of his house, in his garage, with right where the cars are at right there. They left out with the keys and the little cash, or what have you. Jay Prince ended up with the keys in his hands. And we all know the story, or many of us do, of Takeoff and the dice game going bad. He ends up losing his life. I believe that's who it was, one of them guys. And and so he's saying that a lot of this negative stuff, a lot of these negative things ends up happening around Jay Prince Jr. he's catching the blame for a lot of this stuff. He has been in the media lately for a lot of things that's been going on as well in the industry and out there in Houston. He's been under the microscope. And again, individuals have come at Jay Prince some as of late, saying that go sit your old ass down. To paraphrase, it's over for you, man. You're not the king of Houston anymore. If you ever were, you can't make anyone do anything. But as we can see, he says himself, he put it out here on the internet that things did not go well for Jay-Z because Jay-Z didn't check in. He did not go through the proper protocol, he said. Jay-Z, he said he found out when he was landed that he landed at the airport. See, I told you this is my city. I find out when someone even lands at the airport. Went to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and, I'm such of a big shot, was able to get people up in there to take care of business. All he said was that it didn't go well for him. That can mean a number of things. Use your own imagination, I suppose. Oh my goodness, this is nasty work.
They've said their presence had nothing to do with how things played out.
I mean, I know people were associating me with the jeweler situation because I went to Labusi pool party and he happened to be there and he happened to be standing on me. I mean, right next to me. I never met him before. I had no idea who he is. I didn't even know he was a jeweler until after his passing.
But a lot of people in the public aren't convinced. To them, it's not about direct involvement, it's about the pattern. And once people start seeing patterns, they start talking. An OG out of Atlanta even stepped forward publicly and warned artists about this whole checking in culture. His message was simple: stop relying on people like that when you touch down in a city. According to him, some of these so-called OGs aren't really looking out for you. He told artists to bring their own security, control their own movement, and not fall for the idea that someone else has everything handled. These fake OGs don't care about your safety, he said. Get real security. Don't let them tell you a car is waiting or that they've got you. That's all cap. That's how you end up like Takeoff, dead over some nonsense that could have been avoided. Even Whack 100 has repeatedly warned artists about Houston specifically, telling them to keep their distance from certain circles, including the Prince family, especially Jay Prince Jr.
All entertainers, when you go to Houston, stay away from Jay Prince Jr. There's a whole play going on.
And now, the latest situation has only added fuel to the fire is the shooting involving NBA YoungBoy's affiliate, NBA Ben 10. From what's being said, he was shot in an incident that once again had Jay Prince Jr. reportedly present at the scene. On April 8, 2026, at the Confessions Restaurant and Lounge in Houston. It was around 11:30 p.m. when things started to go left inside the restaurant. What began as a confrontation quickly escalated into something much more serious. A Detroit rapper known as All-Star Jr. later claimed that he was surrounded by multiple men. According to him, the situation turned physical. He was pushed to the ground, and at some point, someone allegedly tried to snatch his chain. That's when everything spiraled. All-Star Jr. pulled out a weapon and fired. Shots rang out inside the venue, and 2 men were hit.
Location and had a confrontation with a couple guys. That altercation originally, it appears from what they were doing, was trying to take his chains. Now, sometime during that part of the fight, our victim, who was originally looked like he was being majorly assaulted by several people and getting his chains ripped off, he presents a pistol.
One of them was NBA Ben 10. He was struck multiple times in the torso and left in critical condition. Another man, Dead End Ron, was also hit, taking bullets to his arms and legs. Both were rushed to the hospital by Houston police.
2 men were hit. One of them is believed to be NBA Ben 10, according to family members. Both were taken to the hospital and remain in critical condition.
Not long after the incident, footage started circulating online, and All-Star Jr. wasted no time telling his side of the story. He took to social media, directly calling out Jay Prince Jr. by name. He posted photos and suggested that he fired in self-defense, that he was protecting himself from getting robbed. A few days later, on April 13th, he doubled down. He dropped a track titled "Expensive Wristwatch" and didn't hold back. The song and visuals were clearly referencing the shooting, and to make things even more direct, he tagged J. Prince Jr. during the rollout.
Extra O's from shooting waters down, niggas asking for the boat numbers.
That's when the rumors really started heating up. Word began circulating that investigators were allegedly looking deeper into J. Prince Jr.'s role in the situation. Some reports suggested that authorities were exploring whether he might have had any involvement in setting up the attempted chain snatching, the same situation that led to All-Star Jr. firing those shots. Apparently, according to insiders, there was already tension building before the shooting even happened. The word going around is that J. Prince Jr. and All-Star Jr. had been low-key beefing over a woman. The story is that All-Star Jr.'s baby mama was allegedly also involved with J. Prince Jr., and that situation—
Oh my goodness, it never fails, man. I mean, the last few stories I've covered about these wars and this and that have transpired in Los Angeles, California, they have been over a woman. A lot of them. I mean, all respect to women, of course, but I'm just saying, sometimes these dudes get emotional over women. I mean, my goodness, man. Take it easy, because these wars lead to— now, this individual then got shot up and got paralyzed. He came out and made the rap song, but then they came and arrested him for that. Even though it looked like at first it was going to be self-defense. Oh, man.
Created friction between both sides.
Prince Jr. is the reason why NBA Ben 10 got shot and almost killed earlier today. J. Prince Jr. been beefing with a local rapper from Detroit about his baby mama.
People are saying that drama built up and eventually spilled over into what happened that night. Of course, just like in the other situations tied to his name, J. Prince Jr. denied having anything to do with what went down.
This is crazy. Over his baby mama, somebody, because the story I covered as well a week or so ago where I said when internet trolling gets you murdered, that was a situation where, well, actually, there have been so many. Okay, the situation before that, where dude was disrespecting this one dude's deceased mother and his deceased brother, the dude who was doing that, who ended up getting killed over trolling on the internet and saying these things about this individual's mother. And that's the sort of thing that happens. No one's going to lose any sleep over it. I'm certainly not. After that, that was over. This individual, supposedly, his girl had started messing with this other dude. The other dude that his girl is messing with, this is who he's talking about. The dude's mother, she had passed away. The dude's brother, he had passed away. So because this dude is messing with his girl, obviously she's not your girl. She's over here in this dude's bed. She's not your girl. If you all are married, she's not your wife. If she's over here in someone else's bed, that's the bottom line. It's time at that moment to let her go, to let it go. All of it. You can have her. But these individuals are so emotional that because he was sleeping with his girl, supposedly, he starts disrespecting this dude's deceased mother and brother. And then they came and killed him and his sister. The last situation where I said internet trolling get someone killed, this individual was talking about someone's sister who had passed away. But oftentimes, these wars, they start, these dudes are so emotional. Jeez, man.
But at this point, a lot of people aren't even focused on what he's saying anymore. At this point, it's not just one story or two stories anymore. It's a collection of moments that people are connecting. The streets are talking, the industry is watching, and the scrutiny around the Prince family is getting heavier.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. Let me know what you all think in the comments. There you have it. Jay Prince, that was a whole lot going on there, but Jay Prince allegedly tried to get 50 Cent to check in. As we see, it didn't go well, backfired. 50 Cent just started trolling him on the internet. He didn't back down, he didn't care, he wasn't afraid, apparently. When he comes with Navy SEAL type of security. He's not worried. He's from the street. As he said, you can't get ready, you already have to be ready. You have to stay prepared. He knows he's traveling around the world and going to particular cities where there's going to be danger. And everyone has to carry that same mentality, really. So 50 Cent, apparently, he didn't check in at all. But Jay-Z didn't check in, according to Jay Prince. And it didn't end well for him. Don't know exactly what that means. But he says it didn't end well for him. Then, of course, we see this situation where the individual, he done got paralyzed. He's paralyzed over those gunshots. And Jay Prince Jr. name is in a lot of stuff going on out there. I don't know. Some of you may have more information than me as to the stature of these individuals there in Houston. Let me know in the comments. 50 Cent they tried forcing him to check in, and he said, hell to the no, and took it to the internet and started clowning, not afraid of anything. That's what NBA YoungBoy, I don't know, a little bit of a different story. I guess he didn't check in either, though. And that's why they ran up in his house and then filmed it. And Jay Prince is sitting right there making a video on the internet, dangling his keys. Let's get you right to the point, he said. I have your Rolls Royce keys right here and your McLaren keys right here. Damn. Man, and you all on the internet saying this. And after this man's keys were stolen, taken. But I don't never see any of these individuals in LA, Houston, or wherever else they may have this check-in nonsense, making Brad Pitt check in. I haven't seen them do it. I have not seen Jennifer Aniston or Kim Kardashian check in. So really you're just extorting your own people. That's what you're doing. This is what you mean. You're exploiting the fact that we have all of this inner turmoil and that you can't move a certain way in certain cities with other black people there, because these black people in these hoods will kill you because you're black. So you got to check in because you're black. If you're white, you can move amongst these neighborhoods. You don't have to check in. No one's going to lay a freaking finger on you. Believe that. It's not going to happen. You're in no danger. I'm in danger, but you're in no danger. I got to check in to make sure I can make it out alive. Why? Just because I'm black? Because I don't have any beef with anyone there, so it's because I'm black. What the hell? Knock it off. These people that's trying to make people check in need to get rid of them permanently. They're cancer to the community. You're not making anyone else check in. Hell out of here. Checking in nothing. You're going to check in with the Lord. Stay safe or the devil and stay free, people.